lovely humans. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today's reading is called A Confidence Boost for Imperfect Humans. Embrace your weirdness. So my intention with this reading is to tap into how your weirdness makes you beautiful and tap into like the inherent quality of your weirdness, the human quality of your weirdness, because to be human is to be weird. So every single one of us is weird, and weird is beautiful. And so yeah, tap into that inherent quality, kind of feel it out, just express it and reflect that back to you. And hopefully if there are any places that you feel are weird that you have judged harshly, I can help you see them as beautiful for what they really are. And yeah, that's my intention for this reading. So I do want to mention before we get into it, I just started a Patreon account and I have posted 2 posts so far, an introductory post with a Reiki blessing and my first reading as well. So if you're interested in being supported by me on a monthly basis, the Patreon link will be down below. Basically what I'm going to be doing is 2 readings per month, 2 pick a card readings per month, and 1 infinite prayer Reiki blessing per month. One of the readings will be internally based and one will be externally based. So that just means the internally based reading is more about your soul's journey, it's about your healing journey, about introspection, and the externally based is more about what you're building, what you're creating, your community, like things that are more in the outside world. And the infinite prayer blessing will go with the internally based reading. So if you're interested in that and you feel called to that, that is available to you down below. Otherwise, let's get into the reading. Go ahead and choose group number 1, group number 2, or group number 3. These are all, what are they called? They're called Sawtooth sunflowers. They're actually native to where I am. I picked them all today, and we've also got some goldenrod present. But yeah, pick a sawtooth sunflower and I will see you in the reading. Hello lovely human, welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista and today's reading is called Embrace Your Weirdness, A Confidence Boost for Imperfect Humans. My intention with this reading is to tap into your inherent weirdness. We are all weird. Every human is weird. It is a universal quality of being human, and I want to help tap into why you're weird and why it's beautiful, and just give you a little boost of confidence. And hopefully if there are any spaces that you deem as weird and you judge them negatively, I can help bring love into that space and just uplift you in that space and help you see why that part of you is beautiful. So I'm really excited for this reading. It kind of came out of nowhere because I was putting together this spread here with the sawtooth sunflowers and the goldenrod, and up here I was kind of like picking apart the goldenrod, and I had this feeling of like, is this weird? This kind of looks weird. I don't really know if this is pretty. Like, and then I was like, you know what? This is the vibe. Like, this is what I feel called to do. So that kind of added, like my original plan already was to do a confidence kind of thing because of all the yellow. But, you know, that came into it. Like, you know what? Weirdness is beautiful. And you know what? Let's talk about weirdness during this reading. So that's what we're going to do. You chose, actually, before we get into it as well, I want to mention that I just started a Patreon account and I am super stoked for that account. I'm excited for the journey it's going to take me on and how I'm going to shift and change in how I can support those who do decide to be members of that Patreon. I am doing 2 in-depth pick a card tarot readings per month and 1 infinite prayer Reiki blessing as well per month. And one of the readings is going to be externally based. It's going to be more about manifestation, about what you're building, about your calling. And then the other one's going to be more internally based, and it will be about your soul's journey, about inner healing, soul retrieval, just all the good stuff that has to do with your own relationship with yourself. And the infinite prayer Reiki blessing will be correlated with that internal reading as well. And then I'm also just going to offer whatever I feel called to in that space. Like if any channeled messages want to come through me, you know, I would pop up and do something like that. So I'm just going to let it be living, breathing, changing, and see where it takes us. So there will be a link down below if you're curious and interested in that. Otherwise, we're going to get into this reading, and these are Sawtooth sunflowers, and you chose group number 1, Sawtooth sunflower. The Sawtooth sunflower represents loyalty, constancy, and positivity. And similarly, we also have Goldenrod here, and Goldenrod is representative of wealth, good fortune, and endurance. They're both native to where I'm from. I went out and picked them alongside the country roads myself today. They've got good vibes. They've got a lot of life in them. There are these little cute, funny looking spiders that came out, and I felt bad. It's like, sorry, you're out of your home, but hopefully they can like find their way out that window or something. But yeah, so there's a lot of movement in life. If you see little bugs, that is why, but they're welcome. Well, they're kind of welcome here. I hope they find their way out. I think there is like a way to get out of that screen over there. But yeah, so anyway, back to the flower. The flower is the Sawtooth sunflower. Loyalty, constancy, positivity. Goldenrod, wealth, good fortune, and endurance. So I want to keep kind of the energies of these two flowers here and present. So kind of just, yeah, like the two flowers together are giving me this like solid, grounded, powerful, abundant energy. It's especially with Sawtooth sunflower representing constancy and Goldenrod with endurance. It's almost like enduring wealth, enduring positivity, enduring confidence, enduring sunlight, just life. It really feels very alive and joyful. So that's really beautiful. All right, we're going to get into the reading now. So I pulled overarching theme cards from the Gateway Oracle deck, and this is really beautiful. You got Following Your Bliss. My soul sings with joy. So yeah, so far that's really nice. I'm getting this beautiful, like this simplicity is coming through. A peace, a sense of peace in the simple things, like a joy in the simple things. I like that there's someone playing a flute and singing here, so music might be important. Well, not necessarily singing, but this says my soul sings with joy. So, and I like that it has the moon and the sun, so it's like going from night to day. And of course we have a unicorn here. So it's very in keeping with the reading. It's just giving me this childlike, simple pleasures, uniqueness, this light uniqueness. So we'll dig in. I want to get more cards. I'm not getting too much else right now, so I'm going to dig in a little bit deeper. I think I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Starseed Oracle. Okay. We've got Portal. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. Okay. Okay. Ooh. And then we look at this. This is an interesting photo. We've got wait. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. Yeah, I'm almost getting this like a setting the stage of what's going on in your world, and then how embracing your uniqueness and your weirdness is going to help you moving forward and navigating what you're going through. Because with the wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. There is something about embracing the beauty in your life when you're like in between worlds, like when you're in between what was and what will be, when you're waiting for something to come to fruition, when you're in that kind of hanged man energy where like a shift in perspective is happening. It's kind of like, you know, things are changing and you can almost touch it, but it's not quite ripe yet, so you're still kind of in this hanging space. And it's like something about finding your groundedness and the beauty in that space, and finding your stability within that space is coming through. Doors, and then we've also got portal with doors are opening, you decide, rewards, and wild card. So that's also interesting, because if you're manifesting something or waiting for something, you might have an idea of what it's going to look like, but I like that this says wild card. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. And with you decide, it's almost like I just thought of someone deciding to trust the universe. Like, instead of trying to create things exactly the way they think they should be created, they're letting that wild card be a part of their manifestation. And in doing so, or you, this is you, so I don't know why I'm saying they, but in doing so, by letting that wild card be a part of your manifestation, you are opening, like, the universe, you are opening up so many doors that wouldn't have been available to you if you wouldn't have allowed that as a part of your manifestation process. Like this or something better, as opposed to just this, I need this, I want this or something better. If you've got something else better for me, I want the thing that makes me feel this way. I don't need that exact thing, I just want to feel this way when I'm in it, you know, or better. So that is the vibe. So we are at a moment before a big shift, and recognizing the potency in the moment is important. Okay, and then there's something about your uniqueness and who you are, and the divine knowing you better than you know yourself. And if you are to embrace that reality moving forward and surrendering certain elements of what you think should happen, the manifestation that comes true for you will be perfectly tailored to your soul. And it will be one of those things that when it comes, it's like, oh my God, I didn't realize I needed this. But now that it's here, I cannot see my life without it. It's that kind of thing. Beautiful. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to pull some, I think I'm going to pull the fairy tarot cards. I've got a couple decks of tarot. I really wanted like a mystical themed energy here. So I was thinking about it. These were one of the first tarot cards I ever used. And I was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, where are those fairy cards? Like, how have I not used these in so long? And I'm just excited. They're really pretty. Okay. So, how can group number 1 embrace their weirdness on this journey? What does group number 1 need to know right now? Okay. Number 14 with balance. Take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Yeah, like wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. Take your time. There's no need to rush. I love that. That's a good message too, because it's like, yeah, it's like if you're feeling impatient. Okay, either if you're feeling impatient, it's a good message because it's like, hey, take a breath. Like, it's okay. Like, this is exactly how things are supposed to play out, and it's serving you in some way. But also, if you feel like you're going to miss out and you're like overreaching for something and you're like trying to catch up, you feel like you need to catch up to something and you're like, you're going to miss the boat. It's also saying, don't worry about that because it's not yet time. Everything is going exactly according to plan. And there are a few little tweaks in there's purpose to this moment that you're in. Okay. I'm trying to be like keep it on track, spirit, because like I'm thinking like, well this is a confidence boost, but we're also talking about like someone's manifestation. But that makes sense because confidence directly does affect manifestation. So but also maybe I need to listen to that message of like wild card. Okay, fine, let this reading I'll just let it take us where it wants to take us. So. Okay, so what else? Okay. And of course, you have number 12 with awakening with the Hanged Man. Of course you do. Okay. All right, and then balance is actually temperance. So, okay. And temperance is like alchemical transformation, transmutation, and like with like in the traditional one, it's like the angel is mixing the cups, and it's like putting getting everything exactly how you need it, like a recipe, putting a recipe together and it all coming out perfectly. It's kind of one of those things, like if you put too much or too little of something, it doesn't come out right. So maybe there's something like that. It's like things are still kind of being woven together, and there are just some elements, or like say you have, like, theoretically or like existentially speaking, like in the realm of, if this was a metaphor, say you still need to go to the store and get like nutmeg, and it's just not going to taste the same without the nutmeg, but you can't make it to the store till Wednesday, or you need a special kind of nutmeg, like fresh nutmeg, and you have to go like out of town to get it, or something like that. It's like the, yeah, it's like the metaphorical brownies you're cooking, and just certain elements need to come together. Okay. And then the Hanged Man card says, change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness. A temporary pause in the action. This is nuts how like aligned all of this is. Wow. Interesting. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, there's something that needs to internally shift for you before like you move forward into a manifestation of yours. Okay, again, another major arcana, and weirdly, you got, well, it's a death card. It's number 13 with a release, but you got 12, 13, and 14. And it almost kind of gave me that vibe of like, okay, so you got 12 here and 14 here, and the missing step is right here. It's like the missing step is the death card. So I would venture to say that you are going through an internal transformation, and there's a few things that need to be released, need to be let go of, need to be kind of like buried in the earth, so to speak, and like given back to the earth. Things you might be holding on to. This says let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities, time to move on. Okay. I'm definitely curious what you need to move on from. That's interesting. Because it's probably different for everyone. And like, I would say as well, if something's coming to your mind right now of like something you know you need to release. And also with balance, like the temperance card and awakening, you know, shifting your perspective. It might be like releasing a way of being that's just inside of you. Like not necessarily releasing like a person from your life, or releasing a habit from your life or something like that. It could be something that's like the way you're interacting with that person or habit, the way it's making you feel. Like how can you shift the way you, like your relationship with something, as opposed to like letting go of something completely. That could be something. Okay, okay. You got another major arcana. If you get another one, I swear to God. Okay. You got the Hermit, and it says find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. And then you also got Prince of Summer, which is the Knight of Cups, which its themes are romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious. And then this says falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Okay. We will get in. I might need a few clarifiers on that one. Because again, like The Knight of Cups often is associated with a romantic partnership or potential romantic relationship. But I sometimes associate it with something in your life that's like a smooth talker, like something that you fall into, like a habit or a pattern that you fall into that you're like, once you're in it, you're like, how did I fall back into this? I swear, like, it's like you're getting romanced by something and like getting like charmed by something, and then you get there and you're like, why am I still here? Why am I stuck in the same freaking pattern? So that could be. And then we've got the 8 of Autumn. What is Autumn? Is that Wands? Hold on. I don't know if Autumn is Wands or... I know Summer is Cups. Wait, 8 of Autumn. Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars. Going back to school or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. So I'm thinking that's probably Pentacles. So let me see. Yeah, autumn is a time of harvest. Our efforts to create a satisfying career and a comfortable life now reap results. These cards pertain to daily material aspects of life on Earth. Okay, so I guess it's Pentacles. Okay, autumn is Pentacles. Got it. And lastly of the fairy cards, we got 9 of Winter. And I'm assuming Winter is swords because it says unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting that at the other side of this transformation, this is you, this following your bliss. My soul sings with joy, and the lightness and the uniqueness and the airiness. It's kind of felt like someone who was unburdened, like a childlike energy, just unburdened. You don't have the weight of the world on you. There's no responsibility on you. You're free. You can live in your freedom. You can live in your magic. You can live in your true essence. Like there is a true freedom energy there. Like day and night, you can always be you. It could be traveling. Like it feels like being on this horse, this unicorn, and like the way it looks like they're moving, like, yeah, like day and night. Like if you're sometimes like overnight traveling on an airplane, like going from night to day, or yeah, travel kind of came through. But so basically on the other side of this transformation, you can exist in that energy. That's kind of the goal, or that's what's coming. That's your potential right now. And the rest of this may feel very heavy, but it feels like it's nearing the end of a cycle where things are so heavy like this. I just heard there's nothing wrong with you that you can't or won't manifest what you want. You're just in the final cycle. You're in the final stretch of a cycle that's closing. So if there's any part of you you're deeming as kind of like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not doing this right, or kind of like this feeling of like, well, maybe there's something wrong with me that I'm not manifesting what I want the way other people can or have. There's like a comparison. It's just a judgment of the self that needs to be released. A trust in your own goodness, a trust in your own unique weirdness, and a trust that that's attractive, you know, like a trust that that's something that people are drawn to. Every one of us has this inherent attraction, like element, where when we're embracing our true self, we will attract others who resonate and align with the energy of that true self. So if we're judging our truest self, or we're hiding our truest self, then how are we going to attract the people who resonate with our truest self? So like if we're trying to be like someone else, for instance, and trying to attract people from a place, or attract energies, attract in general, like attract money, attract like whatever it is you're trying to attract in your life. Whenever we're attracting from a place of inauthenticity, we're going to attract things, but we're also going to attract things or people that align in a weird way with that inauthenticity. Not to say that divine plan and divine timing and divine will can't supersede that and override it and bring beautiful things into your life. Like things kind of like that energy of when I said like when you're on the other side, it's like, oh, I didn't know I need this, but now that it's here, I don't want to live without it. Like, not to say that the divine can't like place people in your life, but I feel like this is kind of calling you into this rawness of who you are and this bravery to be in your rawness and exist in your rawness in this world, in your vulnerability, and manifest from that space. Like the truest, like getting real with yourself even, and be like, where am I even being unreal with myself? Where am I putting on a mask even with myself? Where am I hiding from myself? You know, like just spending, and with the hermit here, just spending more time alone, like maybe going on like a little mini retreat, or even like taking a day and going into nature and like existing in the silence and having that intention to connect with your true nature, with who you truly are uniquely, and embodying that and remembering that, and then bringing that with you, and having that intention, you know, like, because it's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go spend some time alone, but when you really look at it as like a ceremonial kind of thing, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go in and I want to connect to myself. I'm calling to my higher self right now. I'm calling to my truest version of who I am. Please reveal yourself. Remind me of who I am. Remind me of my true soul nature, and help me embody that, and like have that intention that when you leave that space, that intentional space you created for yourself, when you leave and come back into the world, that you've found something in yourself, and you've held on to it, and you embodied it, and you carry it back with you out into the world. And then, you know, once you're in the world, you can figure out how you want to express it and what feels good to you. But, you know, and there's no pressure ever to express it if you don't feel safe expressing your authenticity or your raw vulnerability. But just having that and embodying that and holding on to that and existing in that energy, and then continually doing that, you know, continuing to get to know yourself more and learn who you are even more deeply. Because I feel like the soul is like a never-ending well of beauty and love and weirdness and uniqueness. And I feel like getting to know yourself, it's like you'll never fully get to know yourself, like fully, you know, like, but you can, that's kind of the beautiful thing about life. Like life is always going to be an adventure, even if the adventure is the adventure of exploring the landscape of your own soul. So this is, yeah, calling you into knowing yourself more deeply, remembering, just, yes, like remembering who you are. Like I'm coming to, like something is coming to mind. There's a couple different things, but I'll talk about like when I was in Austin and this one time, and I did an ecstatic dance class, and it was the first ecstatic dance class I'd ever done, and it was in the morning. So it was it was different than the nighttime. The nighttime ones get interesting and weird, but the morning one was so pure and beautiful. And there was something that came through, and I just had to go sit on the side and like cry it out. But it was like the purest part of me, but like the most unique part, like the most unique essence of me. It almost felt like my childlike nature came through, like this, like a part of me that finally felt safe to just feel embodied inside myself, and it felt so uniquely me. It was just like, this is, oh, this is who I am. This is what it feels like to know my soul and to be existing in it. And it was like the most beautiful, simple thing. And it's, I don't know really where I'm going with this, but I just think like knowing that that's a potential, knowing that there are parts of you meant to be experienced and embodied, that, and it's not even like you don't know that part of you yet. It will be a remembrance that wants to come through. And that's, wow, that's awesome. Part of me was like, I'm jealous. I'm jealous if you're gonna, you know, experience that, but I'll take that with me too, and take this message with me too, because I think that's something we should all do, is spend more time with our own souls and get to know ourselves better, because I think we'll start to know our needs more deeply, and we'll be able to kind of articulate our needs better, and be more aware of what doesn't fulfill our needs and what does, you know, who doesn't fulfill our needs and who does, you know. That's a really beautiful, there's no like black, it's not black and white. It's not like, oh my God, I need to like cut this person out, or this person is not honoring my soul, or this, like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I in this habit? There's no harshness involved. It's more like, well, where do you need to connect more deeply to your true needs? And once you're embodied in that, that will be more what you're gravitating towards. And it's not about like being so harshly cutting. It's more about just knowing yourself. So yeah. Okay, what else? So 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of like mastery over like the practice of getting to know yourself, and like allowing that to be a part of your life forever, you know, making that a habit forever, forever, forever. Like one thing that is sure, that you will always be sure of, is that you will always have yourself. You know, people come and go, death is a part of life, you know, but you will always have yourself at the end of the day. And if you know yourself, you're intimate with yourself, and you love yourself, and you enjoy being with yourself, and you can support yourself, and you can provide yourself with your own needs, and you're aware of those needs, like you'll always be able to find those needs in the world, and you'll always be supported. You know, it's like that support coming from within first. Yeah, I love that. Falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Yeah, it kind of feels like falling back in love with yourself. Interesting. So why is the 9 of Swords here? Like why, what are these fears? Allow worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Okay. Yeah, there's just this sense of like, not like profoundly, but like a mistrust of the self. And when you'd really just dig deep and spend time with yourself, you'd realize just how trustworthy you are. And as far as a mistrust, there was like another layer to that. I'm trying to remember. Or like a worry about, or a fear of, let me roll with it. I don't know if this will resonate, but like a fear of spending that time in silence with yourself. It's like a fear of fear itself in a way, like the fears that exist within you. It's like like a discomfort with being alone, a discomfort with the negative thoughts and energies that might come through when you are alone and you're not distracted, when you do sit with yourself. But that really just feels like a part of this death card, like this release card. Like when those energies come up, instead of trying to avoid them or pretend like they're not there, like exist with them with curiosity and release them, like with an intention to release them, and knowing that whatever fears, because this says unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So I think it's directly saying when you're able to just leave breathing room for those fears and hold on to the truth that it's unfounded, you can hold those in love and release them back into the earth to be used as like compost, kind of like fertilizer, you know, how things decompose into the earth. It's probably a really good time for that. It's Virgo season right now, and it's probably a really good time for that, actually. And it is September 12th when I'm recording this, and you've got 12 over here. Yeah, I think Virgo season is a great time to release things and let them decompose and just give back to the earth and leave space for new life to spring forth inside of you. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards from the Luna Lapin Tarot. It's these sweet little bunny cards. Okay, what else does group number 1 need to hear right now? Ooh, that one flew out. What we got? Then we've got the 9 of Wands, which is about endurance, and the Goldenrod. It's about endurance. Yeah, you're at like a 9 point. So like if there's like 1 through 10, and the 9, well, 10 technically is like completion, but it's also 1. But the 9 is like just before the new beginning. So I do feel that's where you're at. Because, yeah, you've got 9, 9, 9. And it does feel like there's one last stretch, but there, like, what in this waiting and this awakening thing, this is about you knowing yourself more deeply, embracing yourself more deeply, aligning with who you really are, so that when you attract to these new things that are coming in, this new beginning, it is fully yours, you know? Like, this is what you manifested holistically for yourself. It is perfectly tailored to you. So if there are places inside yourself where you're being inauthentic with yourself, you need to look at that, and you need to figure out what's real, what's not, what's projections that were placed on me by society, or expectations of society or the people around me, or limitations that other people have put on me. Like, there needs to be a digging there and getting into your true nature and what you know is not only possible for you, but what is like appropriate for you, specifically you. What will feel good to you? Like, what if like you think you need to manifest, like, you know, like, for instance, say someone wants to manifest like $10,000 per month, but really their soul and everything would be perfectly fine at like $6,000 per month or $7,000 per month. Like, that would be the more balanced number. But the 10,000, like, I hope you get what I'm saying. It's almost like you don't want to manifest like more than what is going to bring your soul this joy, or less than what is going to bring your soul the joy. It's kind of just finding that balance. Like, there's going to be a beautiful balance where you feel most you and most secure. And yeah, there's like a releasing of rigidity, I see. Okay. Yeah, like there's a lightening up coming for you, a Page of Cups, like a lighthearted, almost like, and then a reading I was listening to today, she said she likens a Page of Cups to an apology. And it's almost like this feeling of a Page of Cups, or an apology to yourself, like, or to your inner child. Like, I'm so sorry I misread you. I'm so sorry I didn't take into account what you needed, what you really wanted. But now I'm moving forward, holding on to that cup, you know. I know you need this element of wild card energy. I know you need this element of surprise and adventure, or I know you need this element of security. You need this, like, it's like holistic manifestation that feels really good. 3 of Cups. So a lot of you might be attracting new, more balanced relationships, like relationships that are more aligned with the true self of you. Also, a celebration. It's giving me celebration vibes. like the people that have supported you thus far, seeing you move on to this new threshold and being happy for you, that's kind of coming through. King of Pentacles. So you are moving into, like, if there's any worry or concern about whether or not this next phase of your life you're going to be solidly, profoundly, materially, financially, and physically provided for, this is the counterbalance to that. So that could be part of the fears here. The counterbalance to that is saying you have everything you need, and you will have everything you need because you've created it this way. You have manifested it. It's solid, it's stable, it's grounded. If there are any fears intertwined in your feelings of security around money or provision, you can release those. That's going to be a part of this release. There's just like a releasing, a loosening up, like a letting go of your grip a little bit, and trusting that what you've created has come from a really rooted place, and it's really been nourished, you know. You're not doing anything wrong. Like you're doing everything perfectly right. And it's just the last kind of thread being woven is this self-love, self-honoring, honoring the truest part of who you are. So, okay. And then last but not least, you got the Eight of Wands. So, which you did have the Eight of Pentacles as well. That's what I thought, or I thought the Eight of Autumn would be Wands, but no, it's Pentacles. Anyway, so you got the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is like forward motion, everything happening at once, like things moving quickly, just moves being made, powerful moves being made, manifestations coming to light and coming to fruition very quickly. So I feel like once you've released everything you need to release, your fears, your worries about provision or money, your fears, your worries about who you are and what you're creating, and if it's truly aligned with who you are, this reconnection to the soul and like this remembrance of who you really are and what you really need, and what you're worthy of, what you really truly want. This reconnection and remembrance of the true epitome of it, the essence of it, like taking it back away from necessarily the material counterpart. The material is coming, but it's more like why in the first place you wanted to manifest these things. Where is that coming from in your soul? Where is the desire coming from? How is it that you're wanting to feel in those spaces? How will you feel in those spaces, and what will they do for you, and why does your soul want those things? And like aligning with that, it's just like putting a purity around that, and like accessing that purity, and then placing that intention like on those material counterparts in that, from that pure place. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, there's a reconnection there, because there's just some like judgments and fears and worries intertwined with your soul desires and what you're manifesting that just need to be released, and there needs to be like a full-blown yes around them. Okay, again, you got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, and I'm gonna put it right here because with the Death card, like the death of these fears, death of these worries, we are releasing them, we're letting them go. You are worthy of all of your heart's desires, the relationships, the money, the lifestyle. You are worthy of everything that you desire and that you have been working to manifest. You're worthy of them. One more. Yeah, so Seven of Swords, this is another message to dig deep. There might be some sneaky energies lurking in your subconscious that are kind of like, there's like a feeling of like strangulation of your truest desires, like a judgment of those desires. And it's like your own fears and worries, you're like letting them like hold them hostage in a way. And so there's just a detangling that needs to happen, a breathing into that needs to happen, a spaciousness, giving yourself space away from like the normal day-to-day things that influence you, a reconnection to your own, like the truth of what it all is, and like a defending of that, you know, like coming in and being like, no, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is why I want it, I'm worthy of it, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And there's purity to it, you know, this is a pure desire. Yeah, okay. Yeah, releasing our burdens. But finally, this is going to be the last card I pull because it is my 10 card. Oh, is it? Am I just keeping it real? Or like I wanted to pull a card from underneath. But no, I'm going to keep it real. So not like the realness of this is, no, this is a good message. Like, but the 10 of Wands is about burnout, about burden, about overwhelm. I just feel like we are ending that. We are ending the overwhelm. Like, okay, hold on. Let me reconnect. With this 10 of Wands, I'm kind of reading it as like you have been holding on to like dead weight energetically that has come in the form of other people's opinions, other people's expectations, society's expectations, your own personal judgments of what you're worthy of, your own fears and worries and like sense of wanting to give up because it's been hard, you know? Yeah, like doubts of whether or not you're walking in the right direction. It's kind of like you've been holding on to all this, like it's been weighing you down. And this reading, like you're going into this light energy, and in order to get, like, you have to put down the weight. It's like literal, like you have to put down the weight to get to that light energy. And this sneakiness, you know, like there are some sneaky energies that are weighing you down, and I think that self-reflection and that introspection needs to happen here. Journaling, time in nature, walks in nature, contemplative walks in nature, like, or just silence. Like let go of distractions, let something be quiet and calm, like regular everyday tasks instead of like throwing on music or throwing on a podcast or something to listen to while you do everyday things. Like, don't do that. Just do the everyday thing. Let your mind wander. Let your mind be idle so that you can like let it kind of just float and just like do the thing as a meditative act. And then eventually maybe like an insight will come through, a breakthrough will come through, and you'll be able to like spot it, like, okay. And then you'll be able to kind of say a prayer or like an intention of like, okay, I release this. I know I don't need to hold this burden. It's not helping me or anyone else. I release it into the earth. I give it back, and I trust that something beautiful will take its place. Kind of that thing. So, so this is your reading. This is how you can embrace your uniqueness. This is how you can get back into that confident energy. Yeah, so I think it went along with the theme. Embrace your weirdness, a confidence boost for imperfect humans. I think it did. It's a confidence boost in the right direction. You know, it's like pointing you like you have everything you need to do this internal work and to release all of this. Like everything gets to be released. All of the fears and worries. You get to, all parts of you get to exist in that lighthearted, easy energy. And it's just going to take some self-love and time with yourself to process and release some things and let some things go. So, alrighty, that is your reading. So I'm going to do mini Reiki blessings at the end of all of my readings today. So it will probably only last just a couple of minutes, but I think it's worth it if you stick around and just open up to receive. That's all you need, is just a little bit of faith and knowing that this prayer, this blessing, this Reiki will reach you in the way that it needs to reach you. My intention for you in particular is that I send you love. I send you the confidence in knowing that you're worthy of everything you're hoping for. Yeah, I just want to bring some good energy here for you, and a little nudge inward for you. So, all right, let's do this. I don't think I'm going to create a grid, or at least, you know what? I think I'm going to bring in one crystal. Ooh, should I do? No, let's do this one. But I'm going to kind of, yeah, this is perfect. Okay. So, alrighty, so I think I'm gonna use my little... Alright, take a few deep breaths. Open your heart, your very being up to the blessings, the energy that wants to come to you now, that is purely and sacredly yours. May you receive everything you need to move forward in your life. Alrighty, take your time. At the very end there, I did see a boutonniere and a corsage, like the things that you wear to like prom or weddings, the male and female. So if that, I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but there you go, there you have it. So yeah, something about like a celebration or a milestone. Yeah, like positivity in those spaces. So let go of worries around anything like that. But otherwise, I want to thank you so much for being here. So I want to again mention my Patreon. That is up if anybody's interested in being supported by me in a monthly basis. I also want to talk about my infinite prayer sessions. If you receive this Reiki blessing and you want a deeper session, you can check out those. There are plenty to choose from. They all correlate with a reading here on YouTube, and there will be a link down below each one if you want to check out the reading that's correlated. But yeah, those are there for you if you're interested or feel called to any. Also, I've got merchandise. It's super cute. I designed it myself. So I didn't design the logo. I had it designed. It was kind of, parts of it were my idea, but this lovely girl from the Ukraine created this logo here with the bee and the flowers and ladybugs. And so my merchandise has this logo on it along with the phrase, "Hello, lovely human." So if you're interested in wearing something as cute as that, that will be links down below for that. And then let's see, you can leave me a tip or buy me a coffee. Also, I have another YouTube channel. It is called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form. So if you're curious about that, you can check that out as well. But otherwise, I will see you later. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this reading and I'm so grateful for your presence. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista and today's reading is called Embrace Your Weirdness, a confidence boost for imperfect humans. So my intention with this is to embolden your confidence around a unique aspect of who you are. So weird parts of who you are, tap into, yeah, just like elements of yourself that are weird because as human beings, we are all weird. We have that element within ourselves, and we often tend to judge our weirdness, which is strange because we literally, that is an inherent quality of being human. So I just kind of, that's my prompt for the reading. I'm going to let it go and take us where it wants to take us, but that's kind of the intention for it. So group number 1, it was really beautiful, and it didn't go exactly how I expected, but it made sense to the prompt. So I'm definitely curious to see where we go in this one. So you chose well, they're all actually today, they're called Sawtooth sunflowers. So these grow wild where I'm from. I'm in Illinois. They grow native here, and we also have the goldenrod present. So the Sawtooth sunflower represents loyalty, constancy, and positivity. And then the goldenrod represents wealth, good fortune, and endurance. So these energies are really present here. They're really beautiful. They feel really good. They kind of dictated the reading because all of the yellow, I just thought, oh, a confidence boost, like a solar plexus boost, let's do that. And then the weirdness came through when I started piecing this setup together, and I was kind of judging it because I was like, oh, is this too weird? Like putting these up here. I was like, does this look weird? And I was like, you know what? No, it doesn't look weird, and weirdness is beautiful. So let's also add that element to the reading as well. So that's kind of how we got here. So let's go ahead and dig into the reading. So I pulled a Gateway Oracle card for your overarching theme, and you got Flying Free with I unfurl my wings and fly. All right, so I'm like, ever since I sat down for this reading in particular, my solar plexus, like my stomach, kind of felt like heavier, or like, but like not in a, like in a good way. Like it felt like more settled, more ground, like there was a more grounded energy coming through, but also, yeah, almost like a going in to go without energy. Like it's kind of like, okay, like a spring, like when you pull a spring back and things tighten. And then when you let it go and it frees itself. So there might be like that kind of contraction energy happening in your life right now. And yeah, like a tightness or pulling back in order to launch. Okay. So I don't know where that, yeah, because it feels like, yeah, like a pulling in, like a strange pulling in my solar plexus. Okay, like a vortex. Okay, I don't really know where that's going, but maybe it will come into play. And then I, like a feeling of wanting to breathe into it. Okay, I just had to smudge real quick. I had like a feeling, like a lingering feeling. Maybe from the last group or something. Maybe I didn't kind of regroup to the point that I needed to. But then again, there is this energy of like second guessing coming through too. Huh. There's something coming through my solar plexus. There's a message. At first I smudged because it felt weird. And I think I just needed that certainty that, you know, it wasn't just like I didn't smudge good enough, or you know what I mean? There's like a watching my back energy. This is all relevant, so just stay with me. It was like I felt like I needed to like clear away an energy that was present, but I did do a smudge, and no, it's okay that this energy is here. It's like a looming truth. And a second guessing. And it's almost like I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. That's coming through. Like the opportunities in front of you. And like with this flying free, I unfurl my wings and fly. But underneath there's this feeling of I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I'm spinning my wheels. I'm putting things off. I'm not like aligning fully with what wants to happen for me. Like I'm free. I'm free. But I'm not, it's like I'm not believing it, or I'm not stepping into that freedom. Okay, like a second guessing, yes. Like I didn't do enough. I didn't clear enough. I didn't heal enough. I'm not ready. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. A holding yourself back. And I don't know, is there like a fear there? Okay, we'll pull more cards. Holy moly. I think I want a couple more of these gateway cards to see. Ah, hi. Dwelling in truth. I stand in the light of truth. Okay. And then we've got proceeding softly. That does feel like the vibe. It's like, am I safe to take this next step? Am I truly free? Is this really like the path I'm going to walk towards? Like, it's like this, like standing in awe of like I'm kind of imagining someone who's been like wrongfully accused of something, and when they then they had to serve time, and then they had like a lawyer fighting for them, and like it wasn't where this is actually, I watched a YouTube video of this guy who was wrongfully accused in India of like terrorism, and he was stuck in prison, like a horrible, horrible prison for like years, and like the trial kept being like prolonged and prolonged and prolonged, and when he finally got to like he didn't believe that he was free, like even after he got like freed and he was on the airplane and everything, and like it was like he didn't believe he was truly free until he made it back like to the UK and like planted foot back on UK soil, and like it was like, I'm not gonna believe I'm free until I'm back at home, you know, and with my family. And it's kind of like that, giving that, I mean, that's a pretty extreme version of this, but it's giving that vibe of like, I'll believe it when I see it fully, you know, as opposed to knowing it's truly a step you're meant to take next in your life. You're meant to be and feel this free, and you can take steps right now towards it, even if it's not fully, like you don't see, like, you know, like in the example, it's like the UK, you're not on solid ground on that other side yet, but you're on the airplane. You can go, taking steps on the airplane, like taking those little steps kind of thing. And like with proceeding softly, yes, like it's like quietly, softly moving on your path, like quietly taking these steps into faith of this, in this freedom direction. I stand in the light of truth, and dwelling in the truth of that freedom, like believing in the truth of that freedom and making decisions, taking actions in faith in that. So yeah, that's really nice. I want this one too. Expecting miracles. Miracles are blossoming in my life. Oh, guys, oh my God. This feels amazing, you guys. Like, believing in limitless potential, believing that the universe has your back and wants to create these miraculous, like, expressions of your own soul in the world around you, in the people around you, in your life. Like this sense of freedom you've never felt before. It's like, yeah, one more. And then we've got communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. I felt like a message of like, it is safe to talk about this next phase of your journey, like your plans. Like it's like sometimes there's, you know how sometimes there's a message of like in a reading where it's like, maybe keep your manifestations to yourself for now, or don't speak them out in the world in places that are gonna dampen them. This is the opposite of that. This is like, be proud of where you're going and what you're planning. Even if you don't see like the resources for that plan, or you don't see how exactly it's gonna work out, but you know in your soul that this is what you want to do, and you know that you're going to have the freedom to do it. It's kind of like speaking it into existence. speaking it to other people, speaking it on social media, like whatever you feel like, if you want to speak about it, speak about it. And that will help manifest. It's safe to do that. You're at a point where it's safe to do that. I love this energy so far. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of Starseed Oracle cards, and then we'll get into the tarot. There's like this sadness and this like, yeah, it's almost like a disbelief that you're, this sense of freedom, that it's real and it's possible. And I feel it in my solar plexus, my stomach. Okay. We've got star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Okay. And then we've got jump in. That is the vibe, definitely. Jump in. Andromadan energy, adventure, say yes to change. So there's something here that you're being asked to like walk towards, even though like it's like maybe you don't know exactly how things are going to come to fruition, but you're being asked to like take whatever steps you can towards it. Speak it into existence. And then you've got at the bottom of this, golden children. The golden children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Okay, we're going to leave those for now, and then we're going to pull out some tarot. Okay, I want to make sure we're keeping this aligned with my intention, which is embrace your weirdness, a confidence boost for imperfect humans. So I want to make sure and put that intention out there. This is where we're going. I want to understand how group number 2, how embracing their weirdness can help them move forward. We've got the 9 of Cups. Oh my God. Okay. Wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time of life. Jeez, come on. And then we've got Prince of Spring. And spring element is, it's not swords, pentacles, or wands. What? No. Or cups. I think it's wands. Knight of Wands. Yes, Knight of Wands. Okay. Immediate action. A challenge you can successfully manage. A passionate relationship. Immediate action. Take action. You're being called to take action right here, right now. Like there's something you can do to move forward in what you're, like this freedom that you're manifesting. This sense of freedom. Okay. We've also got the 4 of Cups. Yeah, the 4 of Cups too. I mean, the 4 of Cups typically is about someone who's not seeing an opportunity or who's turning it away. So this says being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, discontentment with life. And then we've got the Queen of Wands, brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly, believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. Okay. And then we've got the 4 of Wands. I want to make sure there's room for everything. Well, we'll come back to this golden children thing. And the 4 of Wands is about, yeah, like that quintessential, like what, like a home life that is perfect for you. That is unique to you, like feeling at home wherever you are, whether that be a location or like an actual house or home or a family, feeling that sense of home, feeling that sense of what does home mean to me? Interesting. So there's something connected to your sense of home and your sense of freedom. Okay. Now I'm going to pull a few more tarot cards from the Luna Lapin, and then we will dive a little bit deeper into the overall message here. I mean, so far it's like, this is true. It is true. Like, the freedom you sense that you are about to embody in your life and about to experience in your life is wide open, a door that is wide open for you. I feel like this is the doorway. Look at that. Holy crap. That's beautiful. Inner child, tenderness, and innocence, rare gifts. And that's kind of, okay, we'll dig into that. There's going to be more about that rare gifts thing. Interesting. Okay. Like embracing your uniqueness and your inner child might be how you walk through this door and onto this next, that sense of freedom. Okay. Seven of Swords. That came out with this, Hidden Secrets. Okay, this one wants to come out. Six of Cups. There's something strong about your inner child. Seven of Cups. Yeah, oh, wow. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, again, I mean, like, group number 1 got Eight of Pentacles, but in the fairy cards. So there's something related. Oh, and then we've got 2 aces here on either end. Okay. And then at the bottom, I'm just going to leave that right here. We've got 7 of Pentacles. I'll just kind of leave that as like my own little, we might draw that, pull that in. But okay, let me see if I can. 9 of Cups. Let me make sure I can read everything. I want to make sure, yes, okay. Okay, so there's definitely a new beginning for you. A door you're walking through. This is very similar to group number 1, but that doesn't necessarily mean that message is for you, but I'm just putting out there. If you happen to have been teeter-tottering between group number 1 and group number 2, they might both be for you, but otherwise, this is a new beginning. And we've got air element and earth element. So it's a solid new beginning that is kind of rooted in this ethereal air element. So I'm feeling like a little convoluted, so sorry if the message is coming through that way. We do have the 7 of Cups present, which is kind of that energy, like dreaminess, convolution, a little bit of confusion element, like too many options, too many choices, like a little bit overwhelming. So there's something to that. I was reading the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles together, and it's kind of like your effort and the divine's effort, like working together to create something. And then there's definitely heavy inner child energy, or just childhood or children energy here. We've also got the 7 of Swords present, which is like a sneaky energy and kind of like hidden truths or like inner deception. So it's kind of like I'm walking through a little bit of that energy just to find the message here. So bear with me. Something with home and flying free. There's a message about spending time with children and how insight might come through when you're with children. I think there's a part of you that is a part of your inner child that feels a little afraid that if they move forward into this newfound freedom in their life, that's interesting, that they're going to get in trouble. Like, that's how it's coming through. It's like, I'm scared, like this, if this is the door, let me show you this card. If this is the door that you're going to walk through, and you can see like these kids like nearing it, and that's like the door to freedom. like childlike play, childlike wonder, like a magical life, being able to truly just be more free in like your innocent nature, in your playful nature, your fun nature, your lighthearted, like putting down burdens and being more free like a child. They're afraid to exist there because they don't think that's okay. They don't think that that is allowed. Like they're gonna get punished, like get in trouble. So like maybe there could be a parental figure in your past that was very punishing. So it's just ingrained in you. And like being free and being loud and free-spirited. I mean, many of us have experienced this. Like being loud and crazy as a kid. And getting in trouble for it. When you're just being a fun, outgoing kid, you're being the epitome of who you are. You're being free. And that being tamped down and like kind of squashed and like to the point where you fear, like the only reason you're not allowing yourself to be in that space is out of fear, because the punishment is worse than, like it's just not worth it kind of thing. So maybe like some childhood wounding here. So I want to be definitely, and it makes sense because there is the Four of Wands here, which is about home and what that feels like for you. Like I'm kind of getting this feeling of like a sense of home for you in particular and for your unique soul. And what that looks like. A place where you are, like the home you're walking into, like you are going to be able to fully be all of yourself in your raw, light, fun, free-spirited, feeling safe in all of who you are. And in particular, that playful, childlike energy is going to feel safe. It's like you're walking into a new era of your life where the place you're existing in, whether that be like your physical location or the people you're around, you are going to feel that way. Like you're going to be able to unfold. Like I like how this says, I unfurl my wings and fly. Like layers of yourself, like a shell that you've held around you is going to kind of like crumble away because you know you're safe finally to exist in your light, your innocence, your goodness, your beauty, your simplicity, your love. So this could be something like a marriage, a new person that is either coming into your life, or you're solidifying something with like moving in with someone, or a marriage. It's a home. This could literally be like having kids. There's heavy like childlike energy here. So this could literally be having kids and giving them that safe home that you never got. Like that safety and that freedom to be like fully imperfect little humans. Never being shamed for it. Never being punished for being free, you know? Like you providing that home to children. Like you living in your mystical energy, your creative energy, or your kids living in that energy freely. There's a new door, a new horizon, a deepening into your ability to exist in that way. And however that manifests for you, is unique to you. And again, that sense of freedom came through really strongly in the beginning. So this could even be like, for some of you, home might be like yourself, but yet you have a newfound sense of freedom on the road, and you get to explore different environments and allow them to reflect back to you a sense of home, like kind of like one of that energy of like, I'm just a citizen of the earth, like my home is the earth. And so for some of you, it is that like finding home in nooks and crannies of the earth, exploring in different types of people, learning about different types of, meeting soulmates on the road, like, you know, finding home on the road. That is kind of coming through too, with this like lady on this bird and like going over water and like the mountains in the distance. So that's very much that could resonate with someone like that as well. But either way, there's the softening into that inner childlike nature and knowing you're fully 100% protected, taken care of. You're always going to have what you need. Being surrounded by people who nurture that, honor that, witness it, and cherish it. It's really beautiful. There's a softening up. Your environment's very much softening. And you're walking into that. And it's making you feel so grounded and safe. Like, I'm getting this feeling of like someone who had social anxiety, but it turns out they were just in the wrong environment. Like, they just had their walls up and fears up because they weren't in the right culture, the right town, the right family, like family or friend group. Like, them like moving into a new space where they're like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. I feel safe here, and I feel like I can be myself here, and I don't feel scared. Like, I don't have that social anxiety anymore because I know this person is meant to be right here and it feels right. Like, this is my soul fam, you know? So there is that like shield dropping because of this change in that home energy. I love that. What else can I speak about here? There's just something about who you uniquely are, and like it's corny. Like, sometimes I think the idea of like soul family, I don't think the idea of soul family is corny, but like saying it's like a catch word, you know? But it really is like, there are people who feel like family, and they feel like a counterpart to your unique soul essence, that you're going to meet, that you have yet to meet, or that you're just now meeting. And it's like, all you have to do is step through the door towards this freedom. There are actions you can take right here and right now in your life that get you on the path towards experiencing everything I just said, like that comfort and that guard being down and feeling safe and happy and free. So interesting. It's so for you. It's so for everyone. We all have that potential, you know, to meet those soulmates. And sometimes it takes a lot of internal healing and processing to get to that point. But it's never too late. And if you know that you're destined to feel this way in a community or like a home life or a family, then you absolutely are. And it's so possible. I feel like I need to keep like expecting miracles. Like, I want to just be like, oh my God, I like want to shake you and be like, it's so, like, you don't understand what is possible for you. You're like scared to take that step, or you're like in disbelief of it, that this is the shift that's actually coming into your life, like this freedom. And it absolutely is true. You need to know that. Like, I really hope like Spirit, your guides, your guardian angels are speaking through my voice right now, or just speaking through the camera right now, and like awakening you to that. Like, I hope you can feel that, like the reality, the actual reality of it. You've got Ace of Pentacles here. That is a solid new beginning. Real. It's real. It's real. It's real. And again, we've got, you can speak about it, what you want. You can journal about it. open up about it. You can write, however, that communicating freely, however you can speak it into the world, the reality of it, but then proceeding softly. It's almost like it's okay to take one little baby step at a time, because it feels like it's like scary and in disbelief, and it's got like a flighty energy to it, like oh, is it real? Like, I don't want to scare it off, but it's like, well, this is pretty damn solid. Like, you're not going to scare it off. Like, Four of Wands, come on. I get it though, because there really is, I guess, only a couple of Pentacles cards here, but it's solid. It's real. Okay. So yeah, and you've got the 7 and 8 of Pentacles, which feels like it's something you've been working towards. And like you've put in solid effort in the physical world to get you to this point where you have this sense of freedom. It's interesting. It's like a sense of freedom connected with a sense of home, like this. That is where it's like what is meant for you and where you're walking. So again, whatever action steps you can take, do it. There are available action steps in the physical realm to help speak this into existence, manifest this into existence, and help like relay to your brain and body and being like, yes, this is happening. Yes, this is happening. See, I did this thing to get me in this direction. Like practical little steps, like only you know what they are, but like that will help to convince your being like, this is where we're going and this is what is happening, and it's solid and it's grounded and it's real. So yeah. All right. So is there anything else? Like, I'm kind of feeling like this weird lingering feeling that this doesn't feel like a complete message, and I'm like, what are we missing here? The Empress was on the bottom just now, by the way. But I'm going to mix up the Luna Pen Tarot one more time and see if we can kind of like pull this message full circle. There are like maybe some loose ends that need tied up, because it feels like there's a lot, like your energy's scattered in a lot of places. But that's, I think that makes sense in a weird way, because it's like tying up loose ends before you move on kind of vibe. But I think ultimately this should be the #1 priority, and an acceptance of this reality of where you're going should be first and foremost the pillar of your world right now. And so this is the priority. So if there are those steps that you've been putting on the back burner, I think that we need to get back to it. And that will help make it a priority in your being, and like a knowing that this is absolutely coming and changing and shifting. Okay. All right. Any last messages? Yay! I almost just want to leave it at that. There might be one more card, but you got the Queen of Pentacles. You have everything you need. Everything you need. You're so nurtured in this, like, solidly you are provided for. You will be provided for. Everything you need to manifest this sense of home and freedom is available to you. Don't you worry. You got this. Like, this is something you have in the core of your being. You've worked towards. You've mastered this creation and this life, and it's sustainable. It's forever. It's something that's shifting forever. Like, whatever you've done to get yourself to this point and to open up to this next phase of your life, it's solid, it's stable, it has longevity. Like, longevity is one of the meanings of one of these, of Goldenrod. Endurance, longevity, like, definitely, like, it has solid, stable ground to stand on because you've created it that way. But it's interesting because with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, again, those are kind of coming together. Like, it's like you've slowly and steadily created this place where, like, oh, how do I put this? Like, both with your spiritual manifestation and also the physical manifestation. Like, you've brought in both elements, and so there might be this interesting why is the word ambivalence? Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but this feeling of like, did I do it right? Should I have been like done things like the old way, done things like how most people, like, you know, like should I have followed more well-trodden paths? It's almost like you created this in your own way, and you're like, how does this even like, it's like you can't fathom that this is actually manifesting and working because you did it in such a way that was your way and pleasurable. So, okay. So I think this, what else? What is it? We need a couple more. Interesting. You got the 7 and 8 of Wands. And then over here you have the 7 and 8 of Pentacles. Wow. That's weird. And then holy moly. 7, 7, 7, 7. Oh my God. Okay, so the Divine has their hand all over this because 7 is my number for the Divine. I mean, a lot of people's number for the Divine. Like 7 to me is like alignment. It's like I'm aligned with the Divine. The Divine's got my back. Everything's perfect. Like it's something that's out of my hands at this point. It's like the universe's turn. Like the universe is making moves for you. So maybe that feels like a little bit why it feels a little unsteady or feels like a little floaty, because you're in this space where like the universe is opening up these doors and like the little steps you're taking to move forward through it don't seem that groundbreaking, but yet you're at this threshold and you're ready to step into the next phase. So, and it just feels like the 7 of Wands feels like a protection of what you know is true and where you know you're walking. Like don't let your doubts and your fearful thoughts get in the way of this, of where you're walking. Like this is absolutely yours. Nobody can take it away from you. 8 of Wands is like fast forward motion, like things moving quickly. Like keep taking these steps and then eventually it will be like suddenly you're in the new experience of your life that feels more whole and feels more like uniquely you, and it will feel like it, like in the blink of an eye it happened, even though it may not have. Like with the 7 and 8 of Pentacles, it may have felt very like long and in the process of building something, but that shift will feel like the blink of an eye. Yeah. All right. You're going in the right direction. You're amazing. Honor your inner child. Listen to your inner child. Affirm to them that they're safe in stepping into the light, stepping into the next phase. It is safe to be at this like higher plane of existence that feels more free, that feels more like home. It's safe to exist in that space. Yeah, just a better, higher sense of freedom. And it's yours. So keep going. You've got this. And the Divine has opened up a giant freaking gaping path for you to walk onto. It's like, it's going to be so like the next steps are so obvious. Like it's crazy. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much. So we are actually going to do a mini Reiki blessing, and this is something, so for this mini blessing, I want to bring in some energies that give you like a golden kind of fortified strength energy wants to come through. Like something that's, because like the energy that's coming through fully in this reading has been like this middle ground between like heaven and earth, and like a groundedness existing between the two. There we go. I finally verbalized this Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. But so I want to help you stabilize yourself in that place, because I think it can feel a little unstable at first, because it's like, it's new feeling, because it's like you're still connected to the earth, maybe more so than ever, but also you're connected to the Divine and like the heavenly realms, maybe more so than ever, but it like feels more materialized. Like they feel more like they've come together in this beautiful, harmonious way that is unique to like you and how you will experience the world in this space, if that makes sense. And I want to help bring in like this beautiful golden fortified energy to help you feel safe there, like a protective, yeah, like beautiful energy for that. So that's my intention for our little Reiki blessing. So all you have to do for this, I'm going to put a crystal right in the center here to help channel the energy. All you have to do is just be open to receive. So Reiki knows no time, space, or distance. And these Reiki blessings and infinite prayer sessions kind of have a life of their own. So you will receive this in the way that is unique and perfect and protected and pure for you. So just open up to receive from your own spirit team, and you shall. So, alrighty, let's take a few deep breaths. Whew. And just open to receive, and know that the divine is on your side. You got all 7 cards from all 4 suits: Pentacles, Wands, Swords, Cups, Earth, Air, Fire, and Water, all coming together to work for you, to work to help you walk towards this everything has already come together, and all you have to do is take a few more steps. That's it. So yes, all right, be open. You are blessed beyond measure. Congratulations on this shift. You are safe to be you. You are safe to let yourself be free and light and sovereign and in your fun, playful energy. Alrighty, take your time. You can take a few more deep breaths if you need. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really honored to channel this message for you. Again, I hope it was clear. I hope it made sense and resonated. Because again, I did feel a little convoluted during the channeling, but I just know ultimately the message is that you are so worthy of feeling safe and free and like healthy and fortified and supported and loved for just exactly who you are. And nourish your inner child. Spend time with the children in your life. They'll help you remember who you really are and what you're really worthy of. So, alrighty, thank you so much. So, I want to mention again my Patreon. If you're interested in being supported by me on a monthly basis, I am offering Patreon now. So, 2 readings a month, 1 infinite prayer session a month. If you feel called to that, the link will be down below. I also want to mention my infinite prayer sessions. So if you felt the energy from this session and you feel called to a deeper energy healing transmission, those are available on my Patreon account for purchase separately. So there's a link down below for those. You can check those out and you can kind of look at their descriptions and see if any of them are calling out to you. They're all correlated to a reading here on YouTube. So, or if you check out other readings and they resonate, you can always kind of find infinite prayer through those as well. But yeah, that's an option. I also have merchandise. It's really cute. I have designed it myself with the help of an artist in the Ukraine. So we created this, well, she created it. I just helped with the ideas. But yeah, so this logo here with the bee, the flowers, and the ladybugs, this is on the merchandise. And then also is the phrase, "Hello, lovely human." So if that sounds cute to you, there will be a link for that. Also, you can leave me a tip / buy me a coffee, or you can check out my other YouTube channel. It is called Soul Hearken. It is my heart and soul in video form. That will be listed down below as well. So thank you so much for being here. I really loved your reading and I'm really grateful for your presence. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista and today's reading is called Embrace Your Weirdness, a confidence boost for imperfect humans. So group number 1 and 2, they kind of went their own route and it still ran in lines with the theme. So I just want you to remain open because I don't know where this reading is going to go. They kind of they have a life of their own, but that's my intention anyway for the reading, and I'm gonna keep it within those realms. Like, I want you to feel moving forward how you can embrace parts of yourself that are unique to you, that you may deem a little weird, or that others may deem a little weird, but you know, we're all weird. All humans are weird. It's an inherent quality of being human, and I hope we embrace that. And yeah, group number 2, we didn't really get into the weirdness so much, but it was like a uniqueness to who you are and what works for you and what your life, you know, would look like if you embraced who you really are, kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. So before we get started, I want to mention that I just launched my new Patreon account. So with my new Patreon, I'm going to be doing 2 Pick a Flower tarot readings per month. And one of them is going to be internally based, which will be more focused on your inner healing. And the other one will be more externally based, which will be more focused on like manifestation, your calling, what you're building in life, your relationships, stuff like that. So also for the internally based reading, I'm going to be offering one in-depth infinite prayer Reiki blessing as well. So I'm also just going to be fluid with it and allow myself to pop in here and there with channeled messages or just whatever I feel called to do within that space and within that particular group, you know, that is a patron, I guess is what you would call it, like that has subscribed to that Patreon account. So I'm excited about that. It's a whole new journey for me. And if you feel called to look at that or to join that, there will be a link down below for that. Also, at the end of this particular reading, we're going to do a mini Reiki blessing. So stick around for that as well. But otherwise, let's just get into the reading. So you chose group number 3, and the flower today is called I keep forgetting, it's Sawtooth sunflower. So the Sawtooth sunflower represents loyalty, constancy, and positivity. And then we also have Goldenrod present. They're both native to where I'm from. I actually went out and just picked them along the side of the road. And Goldenrod represents wealth, good fortune, and endurance. And those make sense for group number 1 and 2 kind of had like this stability energy, this constancy, but also this abundance and freedom energy. So I really like that the flowers have kind of correlated with the readings. But yeah, so we'll put this little guy right up here and we'll just get right into it. So we have from a Gateway Oracle cards, your overarching theme will be coming into power. I step into my power boldly and confidently. All right, and that makes sense because when I sat down, like a grounded energy in my solar plexus kind of wanted to come through. And I'm also feeling more like I want to be bolder and stronger and more like rooted in the way I channel the messages, more confident in the way I channel the messages, because I notice I tend to question myself sometimes during readings when the messages aren't like perfectly crystal clear, or when I have to dig, or when I have to like wait it out and listen, and or if like there's murky energy, you know, I tend to question myself. And I kind of sat down for this particular reading because I was doing that in the last one towards the end, because it was just murky. And that's just the energy you're reading, right? It can be murky. Like that's what I was reading. So I was kind of like judging myself for that, when really that was accurate, you know? And then I kind of like said a prayer before this one, like, okay, I'm going to release that, and I'm just going to move forward calmly and confidently in this reading, and just channel confidently, and just know whatever messages need to come through will come through. So it's kind of like a shift from, like, if we're taking that as a reflection for you, it's a shift from that questioning of yourself into like more of a calm, steady, strong, stable confidence in what you're doing. Like a self-confidence, but it's like a quiet confidence, like a easeful confidence. It's not cocky, it's not overbearing, it's just, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer, and this is what I know. This is what I'm, in my case, this is what I'm reading, and it is what it is kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's kind of the energy that's coming through right now. All right, I'm gonna pull a couple more from the Gateway Oracle and see what we get. So in this reading, you know, it makes it, I mean, a confidence boost for imperfect humans. I kind of love that. That's actually like the perfect like phrase for this. It's like showing up in your imperfection, like fully aware of your imperfection as a human being, but still remaining confident, because it's like, well, I might as well be confident because I'm doing this anyway. And I'm just making my experience of what I'm showing up and providing or doing, or how I'm expressing myself. Like if I'm just constantly questioning myself, I'm kind of just making my experience more uncomfortable. And so it has nothing to do with like the judgment of others. It more so has to do with like, I'm exhausted and I don't want to treat myself like that anymore, or judge myself like that anymore. And this is what I choose to do, and I'm going to be confident in it, and just know that I'm imperfect, and that's okay. And like that the divine has you, like everything you need, like when you show up to like your calling, or you show up to do something that's a little scary, or to put yourself out there, it's like with this light shining down right here, it's almost like I trust that the divine has me. I trust that everything's going to be okay, especially if I'm just fully and confidently being myself. You know what, like if I get judgment, that's not on me, that's on them. Like it's, you know, but also just being aware of your imperfection, and knowing like you could always, like if you say something wrong, you can always just, it's not the end of the world. It's like, oh, whoops, you know, kind of thing. Okay. Aw, starting fresh. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. So far, all three themes, there has been new beginnings. So that must be a collective thing happening right now. Just new beginnings, fresh new energy, releasing, letting go. That's interesting. And then this night and day theme has been prevalent as well. Giving birth. I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. Okay. Okay. There's a very strong energy of, like, especially with this coming into your power, of you moving forward confidently in what you're birthing into the world, what you have to offer the world, and knowing that this is going to change the world as we know it. It's kind of like when you birth a new human being into the world, that changes the world forever. You don't know what that human being's going to do with their free will. And I mean, well, you're their parent, so hopefully you can nurture that and help them find their calling and help them be like, you know, someone who makes a positive difference in the world. But it's kind of like birthing something that you know is going to make a positive difference, and like standing in your confidence in that knowing, that what you're creating and what you're putting out there is actually shifting things in the physical world or in human consciousness. Like, you are actually making a positive difference. It's actually changing the world. So that's beautiful. Yeah, like I'm bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. But also there's very much, this woman it's nighttime in this, and she is in her cocoon. So there might be a message about like whatever it is you're birthing into the world right now. It's okay if you're very tired. You're just literally like practically like a pregnant woman. I mean, you might be a pregnant woman, I don't know, but it's kind of that energy. Like you've been birthing something amazing. You're about to give birth. Like you wouldn't judge a pregnant woman for being tired all the time or for needing more rest. There's kind of a message about that. So rest all you need to. Go as slow and steady as you need to. It is safe to do that. It's actually like warranted and advised. Okay, and then we've got accepting what is. These are so pretty. These cards are so pretty. I don't know why I don't use them more often. Accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. I'm loving this vibe. There's like Queen of Pentacles, Empress vibes going on. Like nurtured. Like I am nurturing and I am nurtured. I am confident and strong and stable in who I am. Like it's like a quiet, nurtured confidence. One more. Hearing messages from spirit. I am a clear channel for messages from spirit. Okay. Okay. All right, now I'm going to pull some fairy cards, fairy tarot cards. There's a very like mature energy coming through, like a motherly energy, a matriarch energy, just a maturity. Like I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. I'm qualified to do it. And I will always do it imperfectly because I'm human. But I know that the divine will work through my imperfection to create something beautiful that changes the world. And I'm here for it. Like I'm co-creating with the divine in this. I'm just the human. I'm just the channel. I'm just, yeah, like it's like you're happy to be a part of it and it's your passion. You love doing it. You love whatever this is. But you know that like there's a humility to it, but also a connectedness to it. I'm curious what that one is, like hearing messages from spirit. It's kind of popping out amongst, it's kind of like giving me this vibe of like following your calling, and like most of the time you're immersed in your calling and you're more grounded, but every once in a while like your channel opens up and you hear like you get inspiration for like how you need to pivot or what you need to say, or how you can tweak something. It's like this never-ending relationship with spirit to help you move forward. This feels very much like calling energy. Like I'm called to do this. I'm called to walk this path, and I know that in some way it's making a difference in the world. But just the extent of how much it makes a difference is none of my business. Like it's out of my hands in a way, because whatever you're creating will have a life of its own. Like again, it's that birthing a child energy. I'm creating this child, and then once they grow up and they leave the nest, I don't know what they're going to do with their lives, you know. Nurturing something that has a life of its own, and yeah, a calling. I love this. I'm like so contented in this energy, and it feels so strong and stable, and I'm like, whatever you've done to get yourself here, you must have done so much internal work and shifts to get yourself to such a solid, stable place, and a humble place at that, but also powerful, which is amazing. Humble power is really coming through. Okay. Okay. 8 of Autumn, which is the 8 of Pentacles. Autumn is Pentacles. Ace of Swords. That's similar to this hearing messages from Spirit. So let me read the Eight of Pentacles. It says, do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school, or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. So what I'm getting from that is like becoming a student. Embracing the student mentality, like a student of life, or like a student of your calling and what you're like, what am I called to do and what do I need to learn to embody that? And then we've got the Ace of Winter, or the Ace of Swords, and it says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Okay, I'm just getting this bold, confident, stable, mission-oriented, beautiful energy. And then the Chariot, I think that makes perfect sense. It says, success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. You literally are in a spotlight here. Wow. And then we've got the Prince of Summer, which is the Knight of Cups. And it says romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious, and it says falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. We've got Eight of Swords. You have what it takes, if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you away from getting what you want. That was kind of the energy that I talked about earlier that I was like walking away from. And like being confident in who you are and what you want. Like, okay, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. Interesting. Okay. A couple more. Then you've got number 5 with Unity. And it says, do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see what works for you. A spiritually minded community. One more. And then we've got Princess of Autumn, which is the Page of Pentacles. And it says, studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous, and happy news about your career, promotions, or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. And at the bottom, we have Renewal, number 20, with review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. So this is the Judgment card in Tarot. So, okay. You've got a few major arcanas. So big changes, big shifts. It's interesting that the Page of Pentacles is here. So it does really feel like a new venture. And it very much is very much tied to your calling. It's very much tied to what you're meant to pursue in this world, what you're meant to bring forth in this world. Something that is uniquely yours. Like whatever this thing is, it cannot be created through anyone but you. Like whatever path you walk can only be walked by you. So yeah, it's a calling. It's a calling for sure. And it's guided by the divine. Like with the Chariot, I always think of the Chariot as this vehicle that's steered by the divine, that you, like you're steering it. How do I put that? It's kind of like the divine is your co-pilot, or what would be like someone who's steering horses, like a co-steerer. Anyway, you and the divine are steering this chariot, and for the most part you surrender. You're humble to the divine. If the divine, you know, nudges you to shift direction, you take heed of that nudge. There's very much like a surrendering, a trust, a knowing that you're being drawn into the next phase of your life, this vehicle that's carrying you into the next phase of your life. I like that it's dragonflies. That's interesting. And I did like the idea of like that pivot. Like sometimes you might be called to pivot, and like dragonflies are known for being able to pivot in all directions. So that's interesting. There might be something about that here, like pivoting. Okay, so there does seem to be the energy of like a regrouping with the starting fresh. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. It feels like a renewal of, well, literally the word renewal is here. A renewal of your alignment with your calling. So an intentional renewal, like a reconsideration, opening up to new insights, like with the Ace of Swords and this hearing messages from Spirit, like being open to shifting your understanding of what you're creating in the world and what you're here to do. So we've got these two cards over here, which is the Prince of Summer and the Eight of Winter. So we've got the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Swords. The Knight of Cups energy to me, because this isn't talking about a relationship, it is like a romance, a charmer kind of energy. And there's something about like this stuck feeling or this trapped energy here with the Eight of Swords, like feeling stuck in one place. This says like thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. There might be like this energy of like, who am I to create this? Who am I to think I can make a difference in this world in this way? Who am I to relay this message? Who am I to da 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 da? I mean, there's also a lot about like the studiousness and research, and it's like, maybe I don't know enough yet. Maybe I haven't read enough. Maybe I need to be more worldly. Maybe I need to like have more like certifications under my belt kind of thing. I feel like that kind of could hold you back. Like this charmy, romantic energy could like, you could slip into it almost and feel yourself being trapped, like allowing that energy to hold you back from actually taking action and stepping into your power and feeling that power and knowing like the nuance of it, knowing the like feeling, like living and breathing like, holy shit, I know like I'm letting this channel through me and I know this is going to make a difference. But it's like that cowering back of like, well, who am I? Who am I to step into this? So how does this relate to your weirdness as well? Because my intention for the reading is embracing your weirdness and like a confidence boost for imperfect humans. I want to make sure I keep that aligned. How is this aligned with that intention here? I'm going to pull some cards from the Luna Lapin Tarot and see what we get. All I know is you're here for, like, you have a calling in this life. And it feels like you're on board, but there's something that's been holding you back a little bit. And it's just time to move forward confidently regardless, like, of your tendency to step into that fearful energy. And it does, oh, the star popped out. Dreams come true, highest ideals coming true. And like, you're a star. Like, there's like a vibe of like, you're meant to be in the spotlight in some way, or your work is meant to be in the spotlight. Something you're doing and creating in the world is meant to be seen. It's meant to be witnessed by many eyes and ears. And you're like the perfect person to do it. Like it's literally like there's an energy, a powerful, like rebellious, change-making energy that wants to pour through you and make a difference in the world. And that may be scary. I feel like this Eight of Swords is kind of me feeling like held back from me, but it's like you, like the person in question here, feeling held back from moving forward on it, because there's almost like a fear of like, yeah, like, who am I to do this? Is this really my role? Do I want to ruffle these feathers? Do I want to make like, yeah, like channel this into the world? Like, is it a questioning of it? Is this really for me? Okay. Okay. The Magician, of course, another major arcana. The Eight of Cups. Oh my gosh, okay. And then the Six of Pentacles. Kind of want one more. Seven of Wands. Actually, I'm going to do a couple more. The High Priestess. And then I think one more. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So what do we have here? So with the Eight of Cups was the thing that kind of spoke to me most right off the bat, and it had to do with walking away from an old identity or an old sense of who you thought you were. Someone who played small. Someone who didn't think they were worthy of being a channel for such positive change in the world. Didn't think maybe they were capable of it. Didn't think they were certified enough. Didn't think they knew enough. Didn't think they were powerful enough. Didn't think like the world would take them seriously. Like that kind of old identity. And I see you walking away from that and moving, like there's just a moving into your truest nature, and it's like a finally not ignoring it. Like I'm finally aligned. Like, oh, I know exactly where I need to be going. And I know, and I not only is this my calling, but I want to take these steps. I want to do this. My soul is crying out to take these steps in life to make a difference in this way. And so in order to do that, I have to walk away from playing it small, playing it safe, in order to be like accepted or loved. Like a feeling of like, in order to be accepted by my community or the world around me, I have to dampen down this side of me because it's too radical, or it's too, it ruffles too many feathers, or it's too weird, or there we go. There's finally the weirdness element, but it's like, yeah, like this is too different. This is too out there, like compared to the mainstream society and how they operate. Like this is something that makes people, sometimes certain people who are like in their like asleep patterns where they're not, like sometimes it makes people uncomfortable because it's like reckoning with like what's going on in the world. I want to make a difference. I want to shift this. I want to change this. And in order to do that, you have to come to terms with the reality of what is happening and where we've gotten ourselves as a human race, you know, and where can, it's like reckoning with that, and where can I make a difference, and using my gifts, my heart's calling, my heart's desires, my passions, the things that light me up or the things that make me angry. Like, what are those things, and how can I channel this energy into a way that truly makes the world better? Like, I can't live without doing this as a part of my life. I'm not going to ignore the problems of the world. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to like take on the fucking challenge. Like this Nine of Pentacles, like look at this guy. This is you. This is you in the divine. And this is you having something to offer like to the world. Like I have this pentacle here, and I know it will spread like wildfire once I just put it out there. Like this is the divine is like the horse, and here's you, the little bunny rabbit. And I kind of love that these are bunnies, because it's like that humility again, that meekness, but like it's okay because I've got the divine on my side carrying me through this. But also like the Nine of Pentacles is this strong, steady, sure energy that's just like what's the word? Sure is a good word. Like, reliable, trustworthy. Like, it's like something like you're going to be fighting this fight boldly and powerfully until the end, you know? Like, this is what I came here to do, to live my calling. This is uniquely what I feel called to do. And I don't care who it makes uncomfortable, because I'm doing something about the problems of the world. And I feel good about that. And there are other people out there who are doing the same. And the more I walk towards my purpose and calling, the more I'll find others living theirs, and I'll find even more support, and everything will start balancing out, and it will become more easeful, and I'll feel more empowered. I'll feel even more empowered when I'm in an environment and around people who are doing the same. I'll feel more lit up. I'll feel more inspired. Like, maybe we'll come together and collaborate. There's not like necessarily cards here, but that's like just where my mind's taking me. It's like there are more people like you who want to make a difference, and those are the people who you should surround yourself with. So what's this Six of Pentacles card? Six of Pentacles is about balance. I mean, I kind of like that, because it's like giving back. It's this feeling of, you know what, I have a lot of privilege here. I have a voice. I have knowledge. I have wisdom. I have something to give to the world. And I'm going to do everything I can to make a difference, no matter how minuscule it may be, because the scales do need to be balanced in this world. There's too much suffering. There's too much pain. There's too many things that are just wrong and unjust that need to be balanced out. And like, what little I can do in this world, I'm going to do it. But there also is that balance between, I'm going to humbly offer what I have to offer and follow the calling that I feel, but I'm also not going to shy away from the power of what wants to come through me. I'm just not going to take only full credit for it. Like, the divine is working through me, and I'm doing my little steps, and I know, and like, it's like embrace, because that power has to be channeled through you. So you have to embrace that power, and you have to boldly and fearlessly channel it into the world, knowing that it's going to like disrupt. And so that might be where some of this like holding back energy comes from, because it's like a little scary to know that you're going to be like a disruptor to the world, like in the most amazing way possible. But that's scary. That's scary power to hold, right? You want to make sure that you're doing it in a healthy way, that you're doing it in a way that's balanced, yeah, not harmful to people. Like, you don't want to be destructive. You want to be constructive. So it is a slow and steady process. I think, you know, there is that like, am I certified enough kind of energy. You are certified enough to take the steps that you feel called to step when you do. But there also has been a message that I haven't channeled yet that's saying like, there will be things you need to study. There will be more like, I mean, it could be schooling, it could be training, it could be like just research, like on your own accord. There will be things that you need to learn along this path to help you with this, to ground this calling, to help people, to help the earth, whatever it is that you feel called to do to make a positive difference. There will be more that you need to learn. And there might be certifications that you need to get, stuff like that, you know. But that's great. You'll be called to those and provided with those when the time comes. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for showing up and deciding that you want to make a difference in this world, and that you don't want to just ignore the problems of the world and just try to like retreat into your own little, you know, bubble. Thank you for actually giving a shit, because that is what we are here to do. We are here to make a difference and to not like gaslight our own experience and pretend like the world's not on fire. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a change. So thank you for rising to that. Whatever you can do, like just whatever you're doing in the world and you feel called to do, like keep taking those steps. It's a slow and steady process, one little step at a time, but something beautiful and powerful and strong is being channeled throughout your entire life, and you're making a difference in the world. And I'm so grateful that so many people are actually doing that. And we're changing the world for the better, even though it looks crazy right now. And it is on fire. It's just we're finally awakening to it. But yeah, so, okay, so I want to pull a couple more of the Lunala pin cards, and then maybe a couple of the Starseed Oracle. I haven't pulled any for you yet, so I just wanted a couple more tarot. The Tower. The Tower, yeah. Huh. I think the Tower is just representing old ways of being in this world crumbling, and you are someone who's building the new world. Okay, a couple more. Ace of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Yeah, I think there wasn't there earlier something about, yeah, like a realignment with your calling? So if you are in a pause space right now, that's okay. A realignment with your calling, a recommitment to your calling would be really cool. Like sometimes you can do, what could you do to recommit to your calling? I'm trying to think. And like with this Ace of Pentacles, I love that it's next to the Knight of Pentacles, like the little bunny with his one little ace, and like you have that. That's you. You have something to offer the world. Three of Wands, expansive energy too. So I think you're being called into contemplation, into communion with spirit, communion with the divine, like a realignment with your true soul nature, and like, and your desires, like your desire to make a change and where you want to make that change and how you want to make that change. A recommitment, like a ceremony, like a recommitment ceremony. Like, I don't know if you can get creative and think of a way that you can commit to something new. You could do it on like a new moon. You could set intentions on a new moon. You could just literally go out in the nature and journal out your new intentions. You could write a letter to the divine saying, I'm recommitting to my calling. Where will you take me? Let's go. You know, it's that. It's like an internal assertion, or you can literally just do it internally, an internal realignment with how you're going to make a difference in this world. And like a prayer, just a reconnection to it and a recommitment. So, all right. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is about like fulfillment. And this is interesting because I actually did just channel a little message today in one of my reels, and it talked about calling, I think. Did it? Yeah, I think it talked about calling. But, oh, and it talked about, the last part of it said, find that sweet spot between like purpose and satisfaction. So what is it that you desire to do? And then what is going to create change in the world? And what is going to find, like, help you find fulfillment within that process, and like find that sweet spot and like work through that, because you're also meant to feel fulfilled in your life. You're also meant to feel like you have an easeful, flowing life. You're meant to feel provided for. You're meant to feel powerful in your sovereignty, free. You're meant to feel good, even like luxurious. Like Nine of Pentacles has this luxury energy. You're meant to feel nurtured, provided for, supported, like loving life. You're meant to have, like, you have the star here. You're meant to have all your dreams come true. You get to create the life you want to create. You both get to live your dreams and create purpose and make a change in the world. You get to have both. Yes. So there's a balance there as well, like allowing that to be balanced, and knowing that you serve the world better when you're nurtured and when you enjoy your life. So yeah, finding that sweet spot, finding that balance. One last thing, a couple of Starseed Oracles. Am I pulling these? I don't know, maybe not. I almost don't want to pull the Starseed Oracles for this group. I don't know why. I guess we're not pulling Starseed Oracles for this group. All right, that's cool. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and do our mini Reiki blessing. Do I want to pull? That was a weird energy shift. I picked up the Starseed Oracles, and then like the energy just went whoosh, like a shift happened. And then it felt like I didn't know if, like, ooh, do I really want to, you know, maybe I should pull, because then maybe that's like what you get pulled into, like that, ooh, should I make it, like, it's changing the energy here. when that's what you're called to do. You're called to change the energy on the earth. So, but it's like scary, like in a way. So I will pull a couple of starseed oracles. Whoa, yeah. Jump in. And the golden children. And then at the top, you got child of the cosmos. So these two came out for group number 2, just so you know. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And then you've got jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Yeah, that's kind of like this, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do the scary thing. I'm just going to say the bold thing. I'm just going to make the difference in the scary way. Like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. This is what I'm called and here to do. I don't care if it ruffles feathers. I don't care if you get, this is the right thing to do. And then with the golden children, I almost got this like, well, there was like an urgency before I even pulled all 3. Like there was this feeling of like, this needs to be done. Like children need to be protected in this world. Like we need to create a world where children are safe, where the next generations are safe and healthy and happy. We need to think about that. But also like, purity and innocence itself in this world. Like for instance, a friend of mine at work is considering, or she's going to foster children, or babies. And she told me, I'm in Illinois, and she told me that there were 400,000 kids in the foster system in Illinois. And I was just like, what? And she said Illinois is like one of the worst ones. I don't know if that's because of Chicago. I don't know. But I was just like, what? Like the town I live in has like 11,000 people. And there are 400,000 children who have been neglected or abused, like that are in the foster care system. And that like, and she said the foster care system's like a mess. It's horrible. Like, that's just what's going on in Illinois with like the children. Like, that's fucked up. I was mind blown. And I just feel like, what is this world that this is the reality and that we all just live our little lives and we think like we just want to like, I mean, I feel whiny, like I haven't manifested my thousands of dollars yet, or I haven't like I have to go do this today. I don't want to do it. And it's like, we're like living our whiny little lives. I'm not always like that, but you know what I mean? Internally, like you get like whiny about things, but it's like, but this is what's happening in the world around us. And like, what are we here to do but to like make a positive difference and use our privilege for good? What else are like, what else is more noble than doing that in this world? Like, I think I'm a firm believer in living your dreams and creating the life of your dreams, but I don't think that's complete without purpose and calling. I don't think that's complete without giving back. It's not. It literally, I don't think a human being could feel fulfilled if they were completely selfish in that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think so. I think we all have gifts to share and to help heal the world. So, I don't know. Kind of a heavy message, but it's true. That's the whole point, you know? And in whatever way you have, like, ruffle the feathers. Just like I wanted to say, ruffle the feathers, girlfriend. You got this. Like, whether you're, whatever gender you are, it's, but yeah, like, what, and here's the thing. It doesn't have to necessarily, like, you don't have to know what your calling is. But if you follow what lights you up, and you start to put beauty, like express yourself in the world in a loving way, and you start to put beauty in the world in a loving way, and you're open, and your mind's wide open to your calling, like you'll find it. You'll find it. If you're explorative, what's going on in the world, and you learn about what's really going on in the world, like something will spark. You'll know what you're meant to do. Oh my God, I'm meant to put my energy there. I know I can make a difference. I know it'll be worth it. And it's like, sometimes it's not easy, because think about that. Of course your calling's not easy. You're confronting the pain of the world and helping to heal it. Like, it might not be easy. But it's fulfilling and it's worth it. It's what, like, when you near the end of your life, it's what you are proud of and glad that you did. Like, you're so grateful that you got to participate in that. You know, it's like one of those life things. So if you don't know you're calling yet, that's okay. Just stay open and just commit to, I'm here to make a difference, and I'm open to where that leads me. And like, you'll gain the insight you need. So like hearing messages from Spirit and Ace of Swords again, like that's very strong. Like, you will get the insight you need to guide you in the right direction. I think the Chariot was here too, wasn't it? Yeah, underneath this Knight of Pentacles. Like, you're going in the right direction. Everything's leading you to that calling. You wouldn't have come to this reading if not. So, okay. So, all right, that is your message. We're going to enter into our mini Reiki blessing now. So this is just like a mini version of the Infinite Prayer sessions. The Infinite Prayers are a little bit long. Well, they're much longer, and they're deeper energy healing transmissions. But this is like a little blessing shift that I'm hoping to like channel through to help you shift into the energies you need to guide you along this journey. Exactly what you need. So for you in particular, I just want to bring in like this Seven of Wands is kind of popping out, like a protective. Like, I want you to protect your calling at all costs as a part of who you are. This is a unique part of who you are. It's something you can't live without. So if you've been compromising this truth of your soul to live out this calling because of like the whole ruffling feathers or making people uncomfortable thing, we need to cut that out. We have the Eight of Cups here, like walking away from things that don't serve you. You need to realign with what matters most to you and step into that. And the people who can accept that in you will stick around. They'll learn to accept it, and they'll be proud of you eventually. I'm hearing like, yeah, it's like almost like family members or something. Like, eventually there's like a pride coming through. And then some other people might fall away, you know, and that's okay too, because the right people will take their place. And no shade, no negative energy there, all love, but you have to do what you have to do. This is why you're here. So, all right, so I'm going to send this Reiki blessing. So go ahead, take a few deep breaths and just open up to the blessing that wants to come through for you, the protective energy that wants to come through, the emboldening, strengthening, grounding energy that wants to come through. Definitely, 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 definitely. You are meant for something amazing. You are meant for something good. You are a powerful being, and you are the perfect person to channel this power into the world in a humble and I almost want to say meek in a way, like in a way that is grounded, humble, and places the power in its right place. So, all right, let's get into it. You'll know what to do when it is time to do it. You will always know. You're guided by divine intelligence, divine love, and all the steps will unfold before you when the time is right. You've got this. It's a final channeled message there. Take your time, take a few deep breaths. Intend to connect to your soul's purpose, what you came here to do. For some of you, it may be coming up, some energies, some thoughts. For others of you, simply intending is enough for now. Your calling is a part of who you are and is ready to be embodied. All you have to do is open up to it and commit to it, even if you don't know exactly what it is just yet. All the little steps will be unveiled as you go. You are here for a reason. I heard you are here for a season, and that is true. We are all here just for a season of life on Earth. But we can still make a powerful difference that ripples out and changes the whole world, the energy structure of the whole world, and humanity, heals the earth. Everything counts. You count. You are love, and you are meant to channel that love into some form that helps people, helps the earth. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being here. You are so loved, blessed. Thank you for your presence. I am very grateful that you're here. If you'd like to check out other energy healing sessions, the Infinite Prayer, a link is down below. I've got a few other ways that you can be supported by me, or you can support me in return. You can like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. You can check out my merchandise. It's adorable. You can check out my other YouTube channel. It's called Soul Hearken. It's my heart and soul in video form. I don't know. Everything's listed down below. So if you feel called to any of that, feel free. But otherwise, thank you so much. Your energy is beautiful. I'm really proud to be a part of this. And happy to witness and know that there are people out there who want to make a difference. So thank you so much. Bye.